All right, 22 ballistic testing. Today I have the Aguila Sniper Subsonic 60 grain ammunition. It's very interesting ammunition because what they've basically done is taken a 22 short case and filled in the rest of the distance with lead to make typically a 40 grain bullet, a 60 grain bullet. Now obviously it's going to be shooting slower because even at normal 22 long rifle power, which I believe they basically did, you know, it's going to be slower because it's a heavier bullet. So I'm going to do a ballistic test today. I have my 24-inch Springfield Savage rifle bolt action, and I have my 2.4-inch Beretta Bobcat, and then my 4 3/4-inch Heritage Rough Rider. We're going to see what kind of ballistic performance we get with all of these. So I'm going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time, see if that semi-automatic pistol even will function with that pistol. And then I'm going to go into clear ballistics here. I don't have any denim on this because I don't need it for this type of test, but we got 3 inches of clear ballistics roughly, and then we have 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard to kind of simulate ribs or sternum, and this block looks like a little less than 3 inches because it kind of compresses up here and smushes. But after we go through that, we got a bunch of clear ballistics here, and typically if I want to get what I would consider a good performing round, I want to get at least 10 inches in this after going through the MDF, because that would represent about 12 inches without the MDF. So that's really my mark I want to get to, is at least 10 inches. And then I'm going to shoot from a little bit of a distance from my full-size steel silhouette target. So let's see what kind of performance we get with this heavy for caliber round. All right, first up I have my 24-inch rifle. I am about 5 yards from the target, 4 yards from the chronograph. Let's see what kind of velocity and accuracy we can get with this round. .882, which for a 60 grain bullet is really not bad. That's getting into like 32 ACP power from a pistol. .927, even better. .890. .870. .877. So relatively consistent, and you know, it's hard to kind of hard to tell accuracy from that distance with a rifle, but seems okay. Let's try the pistols. By the way, it said 950 on the box for a rate of velocity, so we're a little bit below that. All right, let's see what we get through our 4 3/4-inch revolver. .719. 719. 677. 705. I forgot this rotated backwards, so it's not the gun's fault at this point. .691. 701. So my accuracy is not good at all with that, but our velocity is as consistent in this as it was in the rifle, so that's something at least. Let's try the Beretta Bobcat. All right, Beretta Bobcat, our little 2.4-inch barrel. Not sure this will cycle, but we'll see what happens. .675. 695. 698. 661. 673. Let me run a few more. 672. 673. So that was more consistent than that revolver with the longer barrel, almost the same velocity, and we had no malfunctions. Not bad. And Close to 700 feet per second for a 60 grain bullet. Not bad at all. So let's hit our ballistic shell block with all three of these guns and see how they compare to each other. All right, first up we have the rifle. I'm going to shoot through the 3 inches of clear ballistics into the MDF, through the MDF, and let's see what we get. All right, so it does look like it may have tumbled. And what we got here is we're at, sometimes these angles don't line up because it's a widescreen camera, but we're at about 9 1/4, which would be about 11 1/4 without this typically, but that might not necessarily be the case. So let's take this out and we'll see how close we can compare to it without the MDF. And it does look like it's tumbling as it hit this. All right, no MDF. Let's see what we get. So, not much different there other than we have a lot more damage here. And this is definitely where it's tumbling. It's absolutely tumbling. And we can tell that when we went through the MDF. So, you know, what we need to really do is take one of these bullets and basically measure it as if it were an expanded hollow point, because that's how it's going to be. That's a valid amount of damage with, because these are definitely 100% tumbling. But, you know, our second one, we have a little bit of damage path past it. We're barely touching 10 inches, so that's a little bit less than ideal, but let's try a different barrel length. All right, through our 4 3/4 inch revolver, through our MDF. Let's see what this does. And that had a lot less penetration. So, you know, the 150 to 250 feet per second difference made a lot of difference. And what we're seeing through here is a lot more tumbling as it hit this. Yeah, let's put this back up here. I get the measurement fair. So what we're looking at here is we're right at about 5 1/2 almost. So that would probably be 7 1/2 without the MDF, but let's take the MDF away and we'll see if that same distance of 7 1/2 rings true. All right, no MDF, let's see what happens. And that's a completely different result. Interesting, our first bullet is hidden behind the damage path of it, but our damage total penetration with no MDF is about 8 1/2. I was saying before, about, you know, 7 1/2 with this. So all of them are backwards. Every one of these bullets is backwards, so every one of them are tumbling. Let's try the Beretta Bobcat. All right, Beretta Bobcat through our MDF. Let's see what this does. So that actually did, I was kind of expecting this, to be honest. I don't know why. It just felt like it shot better than this pistol. But our damage path is at about 6 3/4. That would be about 8 3/4. So it did better than that first revolver shot. So let's pull the MDF out of there and we'll see how it compares with no MDF at all. And if, you know, I had to estimate here, I was saying about, you know, 6 1/2 or whatever. It should be 8 1/2. Let's see what we get. All right, no MDF, Beretta Bobcat. All right, so we actually had less. That is weird. That's all I can say, is that is weird. These are very inconsistent results. So judging from our ballistic test, now obviously I'm going to say, you know, all firearms can be deadly, all firearms can stop a threat. It just depends on the situation. But we have to look at averages, and that's kind of what ballistic testing does. It kind of looks at the averages, and, you know, the FBI has averages of 10 to 12, which would probably be more like, or not 10 to 12, 12 to 18, which would probably be more like, I don't know, like 9 to 15 in this type of gel. Okay. What we're getting, you know, 6 inches, and without the MDF, even with the rifle, we're getting a little over 9. So my consensus on this is that the rifle probably is just enough to be an effective stopping round. However, the handguns, both of them, would not be a reliable stopper. Not to say they wouldn't work, they just would not reliably have enough penetration. So let's go back from some distance and see how these things will shoot. All right, since I got a rifle, I came back from my 75-yard mark. And by the way, you know, I used to hear stories of this ammo a long time ago, and I don't have all the facts right of it probably, but I remember hearing years ago that this ammo was designed for maybe like Brazilian sniper work, because it was quiet without hearing protection. It was quiet without a suppressor. I don't know how true that is, or maybe it was a different country. But seeing as I'm already at 75 yards, I'm not going to move forward with the handguns. I'm just going to shoot from this distance with all the guns I got and see what we get. So I'm going to aim right at it with the rifle. Can't see very well through that fogging, and see what we get. I thought I missed, and then I started to like want to put the muzzle down, and then I heard it hit. That thing moves slower than like a handgun at 900 feet per second would hit faster than that. So it's slowing down as it goes very quickly. From what I can tell, it shoots real nice. Kind of hard to tell, but it looks like I'm grouping a little bit to the left, but pretty close to the right elevation. So if I aim a little bit right, can I get a headshot? That was cool. I could hear it go thud, hit the dirt like that. That was fun. I think I'm shooting right over the top. Yeah, so getting a headshot is not going to happen. Let me go back to center mass. Let me try a headshot again. I can't tell. All right, let's pull out the handguns and see how those do. All right, my 4 3/4 inch barrel revolver. This gives me a little bit of sight radius, so maybe. I have a feeling though it's gonna shoot high for some reason. Let me aim at the base of that target. Can't even hear impact anything. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna take my glasses off because they're fogging up. Normally I wouldn't do that, but with 22s we're not at such a level that we're gonna have debris coming off the forcing cone and all that, so need to be able to see. These don't have much of a front sight. All right, so I had to aim below the target. Maybe 6 inches to the right and maybe a foot low. So I want to try a few more rounds with this, and then I'll move on to the pistol, the Bobcat pistol, and we'll see how that does. All right, let me keep aiming for that spot. All right, so I think I'm out. Let's pull out that Bobcat pistol, and we'll see how this does. So far, so good with reliability. Have to aim right on it. Hot, 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 hot brass. So I do not know where those were hitting whatsoever at all. So I'm gonna have to get an idea of where those are hitting before I could really make some accurate hits with these. All right, so let me try to keep an eye on where these are hitting. First malfunction, it just kind of shot up too high above the feed ramp. Okay, so what's going on here is these are shooting about 6 feet low from my point of aim. So, double vision, try to aim above that target about maybe 3 feet. Which is hard to do because these sights are non-existent. What I said about debris is kind of starting to happen with this. Right into my eye, a little bit of powder. All right, let me try a few more. I'll keep trying some more. Yeah, this thing is just, they're hitting with so little force, I can't tell where they're hitting in the dirt. I can't really tell where they're hitting. That one hit I made, I aimed about maybe 2 feet high above the head on that target. So I guess that's where I'm gonna have to keep trying to aim. And we'll see if I can make a hit. All right, so I'm gonna call that quits today. That is not the best ammo for this as far as a long range. However, that's one of the most reliable ammos I've shot in this pistol because most of the time it doesn't run anything reliably. So overall, I'm still gonna keep the same opinion I kept in the Ballistic shell block. You know, this distance isn't that far for handguns, and there's no reason why any typical handgun couldn't hit a full-size silhouette almost every shot at 75 yards, to be honest. And it was a rare ability to do it with handguns. But with the rifle, very easy. It was very point of aim and impact as well. So what we're seeing in here is an overall decent rifle round, but when it comes to a handgun round, it's not a good handgun round at all from what I can tell. So that's what you get today, the Aguila 60 grain sniper round. So that's what you get. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.